Good afternoon, everybody. It's Jeanette Martin of My BC Consulting. And I don't know if I've ever shared with you what My BC stands for. It stands for Move Your Bum Chum. So Bum Chum Consulting. So it's another W5 story session of where in the world is. And I'm super duper excited because I met this person through one of the platforms, LinkedIn. And we had a brief kind of Zoom, and I wanted to make sure the world knew a little bit more about her W5 story. And as we all know, My BC Consulting is about connection, it's about community, and it's about collaboration. And that's how the world goes around. So without further ado, who are you?
I'm Cathy Nesbitt. I currently live in Bradford for many years, actually, currently, for decades. Married for 32 years, happily married, maybe I should say. It's okay to get there, but you got to be happy too.
Yes.
And I'm an entrepreneur with a few different businesses that I'm running.
Oh, awesome. So in those who hats, what are some of the things you do as being a wife, as being an entrepreneur, and as living in the city you live in?
Well, as a wife, I'm an awesome soup maker.
Nice. I love it. Oh, we're going into soup weather right now.
I know. And when you
Yeah.
grow your own vegetables with worm compost, oh my gosh. Okay, so what was the question? I got lost already.
No problem. So what do you do? What do you do in some of your who hats?
So some of my who hats. So as a wife, I'm going for beautiful walks in the forest, tending to my house and looking after my partner. And and tending to my beautiful garden. I think I just made reference to my garden.
Yes.
And as an entrepreneur, as I mentioned, I have a few things that I do. I worm composting, sprout growing, laughter yoga.
Oh my gosh. I love those whats. So where do you do what you do?
So, well, currently during this time, I'm working from home, and I have been working from home. Although before this, I say BC.
Yes.
BC, I was going into schools and doing school workshops. So beautiful, setting up children with worm bins so they can be lifelong environmentalists, really. So beautiful. So now I'm really doing them by Zoom. So it's not quite the same, but at least I can still be there. And I can present to the whole school now. I mean, they can have me in all the different classrooms. So it's actually working out pretty good.
That's amazing because I was having a meeting with somebody last week about Zoom, and almost like remembering the day when we went to high school or school, and the PA would come on in the morning, and they'd let everybody got the same message. Like everybody, the whole school, because it played in all our classrooms, got the same message. Well, now because of Zoom and all the kids that have tablets or iPads or laptops, you can be zoomed in and you can be in the whole, like everybody's classroom on their laptops delivering your story. So our message gets out much, much broader right now. So if anything, since AC, because of BC, we can get our message out a lot longer or a lot wider. So Cathy, when did you decide to do what you do in your who hats?
When, my goodness. So I decided to be an entrepreneur when I saw a problem, a big smelly problem. Our landfill closed in Toronto in 2002. In Toronto, there's 6 million people, half living in condos. So what I do is indoor composting with worms. So it's a beautiful thing. And so I decided in 2002 that I needed to start a worm business because we started shipping our garbage out of the country.
That's not cool.
No, it's wrong. So much money, and it's a resource that we're just sending out of the country and putting in the garbage, and it's not garbage. So, right. I say to people, if you feel strongly about something and there's no solution, then you need to find a solution. Because right. It's bugging you.
Yeah. Funny bugworm. Huh? So you said one of your who hats is you're a laughter yoga instructor. When did that all come to be?
Yeah, thank you. So when did that happen? I was, with the worms, I feel it's a pretty heavy mission.
Mm,
And I was getting a little bit jaded, or, I was losing a little bit of my shine for the worms. One more person saying, ew, worms in the house. I was like, oh, how are they ever going to hear the message about
right.
the beautiful work these worms do if you're thinking, ooh, ooh, ooh? You have to just be like open, like to the message. You might not do it, but at least be open to hear what I'm saying.
Right.
It's important. So I was introduced to laughter yoga at a time when I needed it. And I started to implement laughter in my daily life. And really, I've had tremendous benefit. I feel so peaceful now, and it helps me. I'm much more resilient with stressful situations, like the current one.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So laughter came to me, which helped me stick with the worms. I was, kind of ready to get a job. Like, I'm like, this is too hard. It's really hard. So laughter came, and now I do laughter yoga. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Again, BC, I was doing laughter yoga in long-term care with folks with dementia.
Oh,
Oh, beautiful. I was working with folks with special needs, nonverbal folks. Can you imagine if you can't talk? How
yeah.
frustrating. So laughing, just release it all. It's so beautiful. It was a wonderful way to connect. Uh,
Wow.
I know. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Wow.
And so Kathy, what's your why in life?
So my why, I think it's really heavy. I think my why is just wanting to serve. I want to just be of service. How can I help the planet and help myself? Like, how do I do what I want to do and help the planet, live a good life, be a good person, and, all of those things. So my why is to take care of the planet. I really think that's my why.
Wow. I keep saying wow. Uh, what I think is so cool about your W5 story and your why, and you saying about serve, like laughter is intangible. So you've got a beautiful business where you have an intangible, but you have a tangible. That's like the yin and the yang. What a beautiful way to put a business together of having those both. And that's very difficult to do. And I think right in the center is that service attitude, or that service mindset, or servant mindset is what they call it.
Mm.
Cathy, you are a beautiful representation of that. So I'm so grateful that you connected up with me on LinkedIn, and we were able to hear your story today. It's a story that needs to be told, and I think it's a story. No, I know it's a story that can be replicated anywhere with your worms and somebody laughing at their little worms going doing their business. So oh my gosh, you're a beautiful soul, and I definitely do see you as you do have the servant attitude. So thank you so much for spending a little bit of your time today. I'm from London, Ontario originally, so please take a wave, turn around and wave down the province to where I'm from. So there you go. There's another W5 story. And remember, we all are born with a blank set of encyclopedias. And when I get to be a story in somebody else's set, or when somebody else's story gets to be in my set, I now have that new who that I can loan out. But my big thing lately is I'll loan out your who story, but tell me how the who went so I can make my story a little bit bigger. So thank you so much. We'll make sure we put Cathy's information into the comments. So if you want to zoom into one of her laughter classes, or you want a Cathy's Crawly worm composter for your home, we can make sure we hook you up. So thank you again, my friend.
I'm
And
frozen.
I think it could be frozen, but that's okay. So thank you so much for joining me, and tune in next Monday for another edition of Where in the World is a W5 Story.